Here, can you write it down? Just tell me what's wrong. You're sick, that's all, but we're gonna fix you.
Name is Juan Fernandez from the Película in Puerto Rico. Hey guys, thank you so much for taking the time to talk about your fantastic new movie. I will be directing questions individually so we can sort of make the most of the virtual situation. So Corbett, I wonder if the ticking time clock aspect of the plot was that always in all the iterations of the script? Because usually with the wolf, with the transformation is usually the moon cycle, but I sort of it gives it a different rhythm and makes it more intense. So I wonder if that was always present when you guys were working on the script.
Yeah, we tried to leave a lot of those tropes out, and we tried to focus on the story and the transformation, and sort of we were influenced by The Fly, by Cronenberg's The Fly, and
it always took place in one night.
And we thought it would be an interesting take to have it all take place in one night, and so from the beginning we really tried to keep it on that time clock, and I think it worked. I hope so. Yeah,
it definitely
worked. Oh, it feels rushed or something, but
no, that's why I'm asking, because you expect a certain rhythm with this sort of story, and the fact that when you realize it's going to happen in one night, it definitely gives it a different twist, and that's just part of it, because the humanity of the characters is what makes the movie really. I mean, it's really infuriating what you do with the main character, because it's really tragic and we feel for him, but I don't want to spoil it for audiences.
Okay.
So I'm going to stay away from those questions. So Leigh, talk about Wolfman Vision, because you do something fantastic in sort of the switching of perspective, but you do it in the middle of a suspense sequence. So I wonder if you always knew that you could manage that hat trick, or was that something you found in post, when to go between the two, and that sort of, or was that in the script? I wonder if, when did you find that you could do that?
It was very early on, even before I started writing the script with Corbett. I was just thinking of ideas, and I had this image in my mind of a camera sort of rotating around the room and crossing through this invisible barrier. So where somebody was speaking in illegible gibberish suddenly could be understood. And I was like, this is interesting, the idea of a man and a woman kind of separated by the language barrier now, because, so that stayed all the way through the script. And as we were writing, Corbett and I would really describe what that looked like. And what we wrote in the script is essentially what you see in the film, that rotation. I actually find that's one of the exciting parts of making a film, is when you're finally shooting something that's existed on paper for a long time. So that day was very kind of nerve-wracking and fun.
I also wanted to ask you about, because obviously I know that Cronenberg and The Fly is a big inspiration, but I wonder, there's one thing to write certain things. Was there ever something where you're standing on the set or behind the monitor where you kind of disturbed by the images that you were capturing? Because there's one thing to conceive body horror, but there's another thing to actually achieve it.
Well, it's interesting you say that, because usually when you're there and you're seeing the prosthetics and you're seeing everything, it's not freaking you out. But this is the first time, this movie, that something of my own has almost made me sick. Is when he's scratching his arm. And I was like, I remember watching that in the edit room and being like, Jesus, I couldn't even look. That's new for me.
All right, so my time is up. Appreciate your time. Thank you so much, and happy
very much.
Nice to meet you, Juan.
Thank you.